Hello everybody and welcome back to the Trading Setup channel. My name is Niku and on this channel we explore the world of trading. In today's tutorial we're going to look at a very important indicator. This tool is widely used by beginners and professionals, so make sure you watch this video until the end. I'm going to be explaining all the key details of how to be using this. And if you want to learn more about strategies, make sure to join my free trading group on Telegram. It's available to everyone and you can join right now by clicking the link in the description below or scanning the QR code on the screen. Inside, you'll find tons of information on indicators, strategies, and much more. Now, let's head over to the platform and dive into today's strategy. So let's get our strategy set up so we can start trading. We're going to first make sure that our candle period is set to 1 minute, and we're going to leave our expiry time on 1 minute as well. Next up, we're going to add the Keltner channel. This is going to be our signal indicator. We're going to be taking signals from this indicator and this indicator alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to do change some of the settings before we start trading. We're going to change the EMA period to 9, and we're going to change the 18-hour period to 5. That's it. That's all we're going to change. But we are going to be using another indicator as well. This is going to be our confirmation indicator. So we're just simply going to add an RSI to the chart. Now, because of the way we're going to be using this, I am not going to be changing the period, but I am going to be changing the way the RSI looks. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. You don't have to make this purple. I like purple, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the opacity of the overbought and oversold lines a lot less, and then I'm going to boost up the opacity of the middle line quite a bit. So now it looks like this. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look for areas where price is moving out of the Keltner channel, whether it's breaking upwards or downwards, above or below. If we look at this break here, price pushed through the Keltner channel and closed above the upper band. At the same time, my RSI was above the 50 line. So that would be a buy signal for me. And if I look at this movement here, RSI was below. So by the time the price closed below the Keltner channel, the RSI was below the 50 line. So it was bearish, and I just would have taken a sell trade here. And in fact, we might actually get our first trade right here. Let's have a quick look and see how this candle closes. We've got a couple of seconds left. It's pushing back though. No trade. Now that we understand how our strategy works, we're going to start flipping through some assets and see if we can pick up a trade. Okay, so we're ready to start flipping through assets and see if we can pick up some trades. We're going to start going through them. We're going to look for assets where there's been a change in direction. We can see that price was running up here in the upper side of the Keltner channel. It made a change of direction, then started coming down. So we're going to look for assets that where the price gets out of the Keltner channel after a turn. And then of course we're also going to check the RSI. Oh, this was a beautiful example. Again, missed the trade here. This looks like it might close below the Keltner channel here. We got the rejection of the middle line. My RSI is below the 50 line. Now we just need to wait and see if price actually closes outside the Keltner channel. It looks like it's going to, but we've got a few seconds left. If it does, there we go. Took the entry, although I was keeping an eye on the timer. Should be fine though. We had the test of the Keltner middle line. At the same time, my RSI tested the 50 line, got rejected, came back down, and price came out of the Keltner channel. So this is quite technically not outside. But we've got 30 seconds left on this. Let's see what happens. Maybe maybe price action will forgive me for my mistake. There we go. Let's see if we can pick up something else and get a proper entry. We had price in the upper band of the Keltner channel. It's coming back all the way down. RSI is making a bearish crossover, but now we need to see if wait for a candle that closes below the Keltner bottom line. It's probably not going to be this candle, although it could be. We cannot predict what's going to happen. This is, incidentally, this is a mistake that a lot of new traders make. You give them a strategy and they'll come back to you and say it's a useless strategy. You can't use it to trade. It's got a very low win rate. And when you sit down and look and ask them to show you what they're doing, you quickly see that they try to predict where the strategy will give entries. And if you try to predict what price is going to do, you're going to be wrong most of the time. We don't try to predict what price is going to do. We simply follow what price is doing, and then we take trades based on that. So for example, if I can see this break here, or this would have been a more decent break, price was making a breakout on the Keltner channel. I'm not predicting that it will do that, it's doing that. And I'm following the breakout. This is what this strategy is doing. But quite often you will see, you don't have to look for a very long time to see wicks outside of the Keltner channel. Like for example, here, at some point, price was below the Keltner channel. At some point, this was a red candle because price did come all the way down to there. So at some point, this was a red candle, and a lot of people would have taken an entry there because it looked like it was going to break. And it ended up pushing all the way back, and they would have lost that trade because they didn't wait for confirmation from their strategy. So instead of trying to predict, wait and see what is happening. Is the parameters of my strategy being fulfilled or being met? If they are, take the trade. But don't speculate that or don't try to predict that they will be met. Man, a lot of runs here. This might give us an entry here. RSI is crossing over. I should have taken this. RSI crossed over. The close of this green candle confirmed it for me. This candle closed outside the Keltner channel, and this was the crossover candle as well, because at the close of this candle I could clearly see that the RSI crossed over above the 50 line. So that's why I took my position. We were lucky that we came across this just as the candle closed. This candle didn't quite close outside the Keltner channel, and on top of that, my RSI has not yet crossed over by the time this candle closed. So this would not have been a valid entry. This is the trade we were looking for. We've got a few seconds left on this. Let's see what happens. Great entry. Okay, let's see if we can pick up something else. We'll start at the top of the list again. This is pushing outside of the Keltner channel, but again, this is what I was explaining earlier. If I took a buy trade now, because it looked like we're going to close outside, I would be right now worrying a little bit because I'm starting to see price dropping and the candle is becoming red. So we're going to wait and see at the close of this candle. If it's a green candle, if it's outside the Keltner channel, yes, I'm going to take a trade. If it's a red candle, obviously I'm not going to be taking a position on this. Look at that. And that's the difference between taking an entry because you think it's going to happen and you're being wrong, and waiting for the close of the candle to see if you are allowed to take an entry in line with your strategy. And this is the reason why I explained that. That's going to happen so much to you if you try to predict what's going to happen. I missed this. Okay, let's see what happens here. This looks like an area where we could get an entry. Doesn't mean we will, but this looks good. We can see that the price was running in the bottom Keltner. We crossed over to the top upper side of the middle line, and now my RSI is heading towards the middle line as well. But I have to wait and see now. This might take a candle or two, but we do need price to start pushing upwards. We might get an entry here, we might not. Where's that high? Okay, leave it there. Be able to see the timer. Okay, so clearly we didn't get a valid entry here, but price could still start pushing upwards more. So I'm going to sit on this for a minute and just see if I do get a valid entry on this. And there's a good chance, the way price is moving, that we will see some more green candles following all this one and a few more. There's a good chance for that. I know that because of the way that this movement here, but it doesn't mean it will happen. And I'm definitely not going to take a trade based off the fact that I think we're going to get a couple more green candles. All I'm doing is identifying an area where I could get a trade, a valid entry, and then pay some extra attention to it to see if it does give me an entry or not. Clearly I was wrong here. I thought that price was going to go up a little bit more at least. We clearly did not. This is the second red candle from the time that I said it, and this is a beautiful explanation as to why we don't try and predict what price is going to do. If I decided to take a buy trade here because I thought we're going to see a few more green candles, I would not be smiling right now. Okay, so this looks like a valid entry. It might hold, but we have a couple of seconds left before the close of this candle. So we're going to wait and see if this closes outside. We do have a confirmed crossover on the RSI 50 middle line, but this is not giving us any love. So price ended up pushing back into the Keltner channel. So I have to wait for this candle to finish. Once this candle finishes red like this, if it's like this or lower, that's a valid entry for me. But for all I know, again, this could push up and end up like a green candle. There's no way of telling, and that's why we have to wait for the candle close to confirm the entry for us. This candle did just go green for a minute there, or for a second. We're green again. And obviously if this candle closes green, there's no entry for us. We've got about 15 seconds left before this candle closes. I'm going to be ready on the sell button, but I'm not going to take a trade yet. I'm going to wait and see how this candle closes, and only if this closes nice and red outside the Keltner channel. It did not. Okay, so a lot of new traders would be in the trade already, and then this is when you will hear people say it's a bad strategy, you can't use it. So if you're in this trade, if you took the trade here because you thought, oh, it's a big red candle, we're gonna close red, big no. This looks like it's gonna give us an entry, but again, there's 30 seconds left. This candle could very well still close green. We're gonna wait and see what happens, but this does look like this is gonna be our entry candle. Let's give it 15 seconds or so, and then then we'll have the close of the candle, and then we'll have our confirmation that yes, the candle did close outside valid entry. 5 seconds left. Again, we're just gonna wait. There's the close. I'm taking my trade because we closed outside, well outside the Keltner channel, and my RSI is below the 50 line, showing me that the RSI is bearish. And there we go. Let's click on that again and take that away. We've got 45 seconds left on this. Let's see what happens. Notice how big this red candle is at the moment. And this is the difference between a winning trade and a losing trade. If I took the position there, I would have been in a losing trade. That's because I was trying to predict that my entry will give, or that my strategy will give me an entry. Instead of waiting for my strategy to give me a valid entry, 2 seconds left, 1 second, trade is closed, and it's great. As you can see, this indicator is extremely simple and enjoyable to use. Before we wrap this video up, I want to let you guys know that I am accepting new people into my private community. Inside, I share all my trading knowledge. We do breakdowns of indicators, trades, strategies, and a ton of other useful insights. If you want to join, just send me a private message using the QR code on the screen or the link in the description below. I'll ask you a few questions and invite you into the community. The first few people to message me will also receive a special bonus, so make sure you don't delay. That's it for today's video, guys. As always, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Until then, may the pips be with you.